you!
Hi friends, this is Adam.
And I'm Tony.
And we work at the Drum Center of Portsmouth, the largest independently owned drum store in the world. All of the drums and cymbals that you see in this video today are available for purchase, and we'll make sure we put those links in the description below.
Some of you may remember we did a video very similar to this a couple of years ago, but we have some new employees, our tastes have changed, so we figured we would do a 2023 reboot.
Yes, this is the video where we ask a staff member to pick out a snare drum that they're digging at the moment in the shop, and they get to come up here to the 5th floor and play it for the world to see.
No pressure.
Yeah, it's a good time. The drum set that we are using today is a fine drum set. It's the Noble & Cooley Horizon series. It's a 24-inch kick and a 16-inch floor tom.
Felt like it was a really nice kit to bring up and use for this video. The bass drum is enormous sounding. The floor tom sounds great. Really fun to play.
Very, very nice drums, and the finish is amazing too.
As for the cymbals, we're using a 20-inch Paiste Signature Traditionals Thin Crash and 15-inch 602 Monitor Essential hi-hats.
And just as a friendly reminder, if you enjoy these type of videos that we do, why not subscribe to our channel? It's a great way to support our independently owned drum store and a good way to stay informed on all things drums.
Yes, please do that.
We're at like 75,000 now.
Crazy.
We're getting there.
Should be at 100.
Should be at like, yeah, should be more.
Should be more. Yeah.
It's okay. We're grateful.
All right, so I chose the Canopus 1-ply Beech. It's a steam bent shell. It's got a nice tobacco burst finish. So this snare drum comes with a couple pretty awesome features. 8 solid brass lugs, the Canopus snare wires, which we all really like here. This drum feels really nice to play. It's got a little bit of a darker tone to it, which I really like. Very responsive to different dynamics. And it's got a nice crack to it too.
So for my pick, I chose the Tama Starphonic Copper. It's a 14x7, 1.2 millimeter copper shell. This thing is just awesome. It's super deep, it's warm, it's got a little bit of dryness in the center, but when you hit a rim shot, thing just opens up. Got that die cast hoop, but it's bowed in a little bit, so you hit a rim shot pretty much all the time if that's what you're going for. Dual-ended linear drive strainer. Get a nice even snare adjustment, and this thing is just a beast of a drum. So my choice is this Mapex Heartbreaker snare drum. It's an 8-ply mahogany snare with 4-ply mahogany reinforcement rings. It features the Mapex Sonic Clear bearing edges, which allows the drum to tune easily and have a wide tuning range. It's outfitted with Remo USA drum heads and Pure Sound snare wires. I really like the way this drum feels. The Sonic Saver hoops make for a great rim shot and side stick. One other feature about this drum that drew me to it is the price. It's actually quite affordable considering the quality of all the components and the sound that you can get from it. This is why it was my choice for this video.
Oh hey, me again. My choice was the Ahead 3mm bell brass snare drum. I'll be completely honest, when I first saw the Ahead brand bell brass, I figured it was like the Amazon basics of bell brass. But in fact, it sounds as good as a bell brass snare drum that costs $1,000 more. Easy. Features are the very forgiving S-hoops, which for someone like myself who hasn't touched a drum for 8 months before this video is very helpful. Feels good. It's got the trick throw off, which everybody knows is an amazing throw off. It's got Fat Cat snare wires, which are extremely high quality. So everything about this drum is great, and so is the price.
Are we still rolling?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, so my choice was a Canopus, the bronze, hammered 14 by 5.5 snare drum. I picked this drum because I think it sounds great. It's got a lot of features that I like. It's got these die-cast hoops that are really nice, great lugs and solid wires too. I think the die-cast hoops keep it from being a little too loud and ringy, and it's got a great feel to it. You know, just an all-around really nice drum that I would play any day at any gig.
Hey there, I'm James. Oh, no, wait, I'm Tom, but I am playing James's pick. James is a remote employee here at DCP. Does a lot of good work for us, but he is not in the building. So he asked me to play this Milestone composite fiberglass shell that we just got in. This was actually on my short list of choices for this video as well. James got to it first, and that's fine, because I get to play it anyway. Man, it's outstanding. It's so fat and so responsive. I mean, the snare presence is just so there, but man, there's so much body to this thing. Interesting color. We have a few different colors in this. I think maybe I would have chosen a different color, but that's just me. It still sounds amazing, and yeah, I'm glad I got to play it. Thanks, James.
So my pick was the 6.5 hammered Supraphonic by Ludwig. We all know and love the smooth shell Supraphonic, but the hammered shell is a little drier. And I also love the look of it. It's got this really cool liquid metal look to it. And it's got the tube lugs, which is a nice touch. But it's basically got that same fat classic sound that the Supraphonic does. It's just a little more drier, good, and controlled. So I really like it a lot.
For my snare drum, I chose the Noble and Cooley solid ply Walnut, the 14x5. It's really cool. They've been using the same steam bending technique for all of their solid ply drums that they've been using since the Civil War, which is quite cool. Walnut's kind of interesting. It's got a darker tonality and a bit more warmth, but unlike some other shells that have a darker tonality, it still has plenty of cut, plenty of attack. So I went with the Walnut for that reason. It tends to be the first shell that I recommend to somebody looking to get into Noble and Cooley. So figured it'd be a good one to feature as my staff pick.
My choice was the DW Collector's Satin Black Brass Snare Drum. This is a 14 by 5.5 model. This one is my personal one. I already own this, and I just used this on a recording recently. It's a really, really nice drum. It's got that real nice classic rich brass sound, but it's just got kind of a different look. It's not your classic black nickel over brass speeded shell. That's a great shell, but this is just different. It's cool. There's no bead. The satin finish is really unique, I think. I hadn't really seen it before DW came out with it, so I was really drawn to it when I first saw it. And then, of course, the satin chrome hardware is a nice touch. But yeah, it's just set up with stock heads, stock wires. Right out of the box, it sounded great, and I loved it on the recording, and I'm loving it now.
My choice is the Joyful Noise Nighthawk. This drum is really special to me because it is my personal drum. Kurt's been asking me to make a video on this drum ever since I got it, and we just never have them in stock long enough to make a video. We're actually going to make one at some point very soon, but felt like this was a cool way to kind of slide it into a video and give you an idea of what it sounds like. I love this drum. One of my favorite all-time snare drums is a 1970s Sonar Ferromanganese steel shell that my dad played for years and has become one of my all-time favorites. This drum kind of reminds me of that, mixed with an early 1900s Ludwig, and it's got all the good stuff: nickel over brass hoops, nickel over brass tube lugs, and this really cool torched, almost like knight's armor finish on the shell. Feels great, sounds awesome. Check it out.
My choice is the Keplinger 14x8 stainless steel snare drum. Now, I'm a big fan of the Keplinger snare drums. I have a 5.5x14 black iron currently, but I've always loved the stainless steels, and I'm just drawn to this 8x14 size because I just like the big bottom it produces, the sloshy sound, the cut, presence, and attack that I'm looking for. A drum like this, I know, is going to have no problems being heard out in front, and I know it's going to track well. So simple as that. Great drum.
All right, which one of these was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. The guy who gets the least amount of votes might get voted out of the shop. So anyways, keep that in mind when you vote.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate every subscriber we have, and you'll get notified whenever we post new content like this.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. I think we got it.
All right, good.
Cobble something together out of that.
Yep.